I told you people that I was going to teach you about lockpicking, and here I am. However, I'm going to do it a little bit different. Now, I could actually show you and teach you, but like the water series, it's one of those skills that you should attempt to do yourself, as well as practice and master. Because I can show you all the great tricks of lockpicking, but it's not going to do much if your hands don't understand the required tension, if you don't know how to actually manipulate the pins and all that little bits and pieces. You've got wafer pins, tumbler pins, you've got all different types of pins. And I'm no expert in lockpicking whatsoever. I just know the basics, and even the basics I'm not, exactly master at or anything, which is generally what a master is, a person who masters the basics and goes a little bit outside that scope and masters that too. So I'm gonna get you to put your research hat on again. I want you to look at Lockpick 101. It's an app. It's got no affiliation with me or this course, but it's a perfect app for you to practice on. It teaches you about lockpicking, so there's a manual in there. There are heaps of great books you can also get on Kindle and Amazon. Kindle and Dimix, or whatever ebook app you use. Plenty of good ebooks. You've just got to search for lockpicking, and there are plenty of lockpicking manuals, usually only 50 to 100 pages long, so you can give it a quick read and you get a very good understanding of how it all works. But the app is so good because you don't actually have to play with people's locks, although it's still good to practice with your own locks. You don't have to go out there, you've got it on your phone, and it's pretty good. So it gives you an understanding how lockpicking works. And as I've tried to explain to you before, in a survival situation, lockpicking certainly helps. It can be excellent if you must use it, but it's not always necessary. And there are other breaching forms that I call the staple, such as kicking a door down. Because that's more survival relevant, as well as other means of getting in and manipulating entry points. Lockpicking takes a little bit longer at times, so if it's a real urgency, then you've got to get in as quick as possible, and understanding how kicking a door down works is more critical than lockpicking, because let's just say you've got somebody shooting at you, you're not going to say, "Hey mate, hold on a second, just got to lockpick the door." 2 minutes later, you've 10 bullets in you. You've got to run and, oh shit, yep, door there, yep, boom, kick. And it only takes a split second and you're in. And then you can do whatever you got to do from there. So lockpicking is not the main, is not the highlight of breaching. So that's why I've left it to last on purpose, as I said many times. But it is, in some regard, the master form of breaching, because it's so clean and reliable. If you know how to do it, it generally gets you into places when all else fails. So it's good to practice, it's good to look at, it's good to research. I've given you the app to look at. It's Lockpick 101. There's a blue background on the app, and there's just a padlock as the icon. Download that, play it, do what you got to do. It's a fucking good app, and that gives you an idea of what to do. And as for a lockpicking set, you can, all you have to do is Wikipedia lockpicking tools, and you'll start to get the idea. You'll know what is what from the games, from the Lockpick 101 you've played, which is not really a game, it's a real simulation of lockpicking. And if you decide to read a quick book in an hour or two, then do that. You've got all the background information. So in terms of having the tools ready as an urban survivalist, you don't have to have it on you. You can improvise them from any materials, as long as you've got your multi-tool, which I said to you is a must in your urban survival kit. So you can pretty much engineer one from plenty of things around. Fucking even nails. Some people have used nails, but we won't get into that. That sort of is master lockpicking. But if you do want the actual set, J-Car sell a set. So you can go to J-Car and they sell a lockpicking set for about 50 or 60 bucks. There are other places who will sell lockpicking sets. You can certainly get them on eBay. So there are plenty of places to get lockpicking sets. if that's what you choose to get. Again, it's not a full requirement, but if it makes life easier on you and you want it on you, that's an option to have. And especially when you know that you will be going on survival journeys, urban survival adventures, especially as a homeless person. A lockpicking set doesn't go astray. I know. So it's, lockpicking works. It's trialled and tested. It's ages old. It works. There's no doubt about that. Again, generally speaking, you don't have to have it, and you can improvise from many, many materials. Even you can make a quick pick from an aluminium can. As for the tension tool, you'll need something a bit more stiff. So some people have done weird things with nails, although that's pretty hard. You need something like that has a surface area and that can turn the lock. So I don't know how they've done that, but they must have smashed it against something to flatten it, because you need a flat surface to do that. But you'll find stuff. You'll definitely find stuff, even if you can somehow cut a hinge or something, which will be very, very hard unless you have a hacksaw, and then bend the hinge that you've hacked with a hacksaw. But you'll get the point. Once you play that game, the simulation, once you undergo that simulation, the Lockpick 101 app, and you read a book, which you should do if you choose to, once you understand that, you'll know exactly what tools you need. And again, you can back that up with the Wikipedia article. That's just Wikipedia lockpicking tools, and it will show you everything, the rake, the pick, the tension tool, everything. And if you want to go further, you can look at some YouTube videos. But if there's one thing to take away from this, Lockpick 101 app and just an ebook, and then the rest would be highly advisable. And in general, if in future you ever do undergo an urban survival situation like myself, which I'm still in, then as long as you have your multi-tool, you've got something to work with. You can improvise something. Lock-picking set will just make it all the more easier. But the problem is when you start getting every single fucking tool you need under the sun, your pack discipline starts to go down. You start to have a 20, 30 kilo pack, and you don't want that. So yeah, you could get the fucking lockpicking tool, but then in saying that, you could also get a fucking hammer drill, you could get a fucking Hilti, you could get a fucking you could get the fucking demolition breaker. Fuck. It doesn't stop. So you don't need the whole set too. So mind you, while that's an entire set, the one I was talking about from JCar, you can improvise one just so you have it on your person, and just have 2 items, and that's fine. You can slot that in your bag, and that won't get in the way of any packing, and it will weigh nothing more than fucking 10 or 20 grams, if that, around that. And you just it'll be nothing more than the size of a nail file, but it'll be 2 implements. You need the pick and the tension tool at the least. So look into all that, and that's lockpicking in this series. I want you to do the work, just as I asked you to do in those water videos. So I don't do that much. I usually demonstrate, and I demonstrate as easy as possible. I probably could demonstrate it as easy as possible with a live demonstration of lockpicking as I could have with water, but they're just the only things in this big series that I want you to do yourself and research.